Hello, everyone. I'm honored to have the opportunity to present to you today. My name is Tomohiro Matsunaga of Kengo Kuma and Associates. I'm responsible for 3D visualization and 3D modeling in our office. I came from Tokyo. Our office is so-called architecture design office. We usually design museums, city halls, and hotels, and schools, and office buildings, and so on. Also, we designed a lot of installations for design event. Recently, we are designing a new national stadium for next year's Olympic Tokyo. So this is a picture of my office. I've been working here since 2012. Our team consists of 10 staff. We are in-house 3D professionals collaborating with designers to realize Kengo Kuma's design. We have used multiple 3D software. Recently, we make 3D model in detail, not only for visualization, but for construction. I found that we should take advantage of in-house professionals to maximize the potential of 3D data. That will support us a great deal. Uh, there are three things I'd like to talk on this presentation. Firstly, about Kengo Kuma and Associates and our works. Secondly, about model making in our design process. Finally, about visualizing in our design process. First, let me introduce our office. There are about 200 staff in Tokyo office. Also, there are about 30 staff in Beijing and Shanghai in China, and 30 staff in Paris office in France. It can be said that diversity is a character of our office. For example, about 40% of all staff in Tokyo office are non-Japanese, and they come from over 25 countries and regions. This is a picture of Kuma's desk. He's always traveling all over the world. About half of the month, he is not in Tokyo. But we can communicate with him very closely because he treats all staffs very fairly to listen to everyone's ideas. Let's say we sent him an email to check the design. Usually, we can get his reply in several minutes, even if he's on business trip. It's incredible. Sometimes I feel like playing football with him. Also, Kuma tried to maintain a flat organizational structure, avoiding hierarchical structures. He wants every staff to feel responsible for themselves and know that they are creators. Next, I would like to introduce some of our representative works. Okay. This is a museum at the bank of Kitakami River. This museum was embedded into the bank of the river to harmonize the building and environment. This structure represents a clear embodiment of our concept of negating boxes which are cut off from the environment, which we call anti-object. Next, this is the museum for Japanese very famous ukiyo-e artist Hiroshige, who influenced Impressionists strongly. We decided to use wood rubbers made from Japanese cedar, which is a local specialty. Next building is a small hotel next to Great Wall in Beijing. As for the material, we used a bamboo as much as possible, since it has a significant meaning among Chinese and Japanese cultures. Depending on the density of bamboo and individual diameter, it offers a variety of partitioning of space. Next, this is a bridge-like museum built in Yasuhara Town, Kochi Prefecture in Japan. This bridge connects a hotel and a spa. At the same time, it serves a gallery. The overall structure is created utilizing the overlapping wood member system called Tokyo in Japanese, which is used in traditional Japanese temple architecture. Next building is Tourist Information Center in Tokyo, Asakusa. Asakusa is very popular for tourists. We try to extend Asakusa's lively neighborhood vertically and piles up roofs that wrap different activities underneath. These 10 years, we designed some buildings in Europe. This is an art center in Besançon, France. The old brick-clad warehouse was converted into a museum. Next, this is also a museum in the waterfront district of Marseille, France. Enamel glass was used to cover the facade, with shapes that look like a collection of particles in order to create a soft appearance. This multi-purpose facility is located on the edge of the old area of Aix-en-Provence, France. It contains a conservatory and a concert hall. This is a new campus for Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, Swiss. This building consists of 3 programs: pavilion and gallery and cafe. The 3 boxes are tracked under a grand pitched roof that stretches over 200 meters long. Next, sorry. This is the Japan House Sao Paulo. This is a multimedia space to promote various aspects of Japanese culture in the world. The facade is made of cypress, supported by carbon fiber, which were put together to express a forest emerged in the big city. The next, the Portland's Japanese Garden is a traditional Japanese garden in Portland, United States. We designed new buildings arranged around the courtyard plaza. Its characteristic zigzagging roof is green and helps creating a soft, indeterminate, and flexible border between the buildings and nature. As you can see earlier, Our design goal is to harmonize architecture and nature. In order to achieve this goal, we utilize natural materials like wood, stone, and paper. We want to create warmth and kindness in the built environment. On the other hand, it's really difficult to handle natural materials. There's so much variability, and you can never find identical pieces. Also, we always have to deal with each material size restrictions. The challenge is figuring out how to get all those pieces to fit together and create a functional structure. And that is why 3D modeling and computational design are so helpful. We need computer technology to bring natural material to architecture fruition. By the way, there is a keyword which Kengo Kuma uses frequently in his designs. That is what we call ryushi in Japanese. This roughly translates to granular particles. I found that designing granularity by computation makes a lot of sense. So we use computation in our design process very deliberately. Then, in the next section, I would like to introduce our challenges to organize natural material in our project. So this is a small museum and research center in Aichi Prefecture in Japan. It was built in 2010. This design was inspired by a chidori in Japanese, which is a traditional Japanese wooden toy with interlocking wooden planks. This structure is comprised solely of wooden parts. It was constructed without nails and adhesive. The configuration is relatively simple, but there is a large number of parts. We used computation for the design evaluation in this project. This is a section of this building. The interior. Okay. Next. Okay. So next, this is a Starbucks in Fukuoka Prefecture in Japan. It was built in 2011. This Starbucks is situated on the main approach for the Dazaifu Tenmagu Shrine. It's a very famous shrine in Japan. This project used wooden material in a similar manner, but here each part is positioned slightly askew. This design used 2,000 wooden parts. It was nearly impossible to model them manually, so we again used computation. Okay, okay next. This is a pineapple cake shop built in 2013 in Tokyo. We use the traditional Japanese construction technique for this design. I will show you that in following slide. This direction and push first and layered. Okay. This structure is called jikokugumi in Japanese. This roughly translates to hell combination in English. We used computational design to develop this design. Each wooden part had an ID number to aid the construction process. On-site workers cross-checked each ID number during construction. It's the interior. The rooftop. So this structure is not decoration, this is a structure. To support the building. Okay. So last year, we designed a small furniture for this building to promote their new apple cake, not pineapple cake. This is for apple cake. So we designed the apple. We wanted to design them to be in harmony with particles and the rhythmic arrangement of this cake shop. Also, this is a furniture for the interior. They can be used for the shelf and a chair. So we can separate. So we made a 3D parametrical model for the visualization and the production. This is a rendering. By using laser cutter, we can cut off these wooden pieces only in 3 hours. The cutted pieces. Okay. The next. This is a project for the University of Tokyo. This design called for scales, fish scales, on the facade made of wood. By combining a few patterns of units, we create a complex overall effect. For this design, we used BIM software, parametric design. This is from approach. The front view. This is a ceiling. Also, this is from the opposite side of the wooden panel. This panel are made of metal frames with plaster. And this is an auditorium. Okay. Next, I would like to talk about V&A Dundee. This is a museum on the waterfront of Dundee, a city in the north of Scotland. It is the first design museum in Scotland and is expected to function as a base for promoting Scottish culture. The building site faces the River Tay, which flows south of the Dundee River. As you can see in the drawing, the structure projects out over the river. This is an idea for a new type of architecture which blends into the natural environment and the surrounding landscape. As the section of the building shows, the space expands upward, so visitors can experience a unique sense of an openness. Concerts and performances are also held in this lobby. That makes V&A the living room for the whole community in Dundee. We were fascinated by the beautiful cliffs in the north of Scotland. So we wanted to convey its natural randomness through the architecture. To realize a facade with subtle nuance and dynamics, we came up with the idea of stacking layers of long slabs of precast concrete with varying angles. Again, today's advanced system for parametric design enable us to achieve our design process. Mhm. Okay, the basic plank shape is defined from two cross sections. As you can see here, we use a number of parameters such as length and angle for modeling. Each plank shape is defined in relation to the twisting plane, and there are innumerable patterns depending on the mounting location. Each plank is packed with considerable information, but in high-end 3D CAD, we can maintain many parameters. We finally model a facade consists of more than 2,000 planks. In this project, we achieved optimizing the whole planks by using parametric design. Also, we could export it all parameters of all planks into Excel. The on-site workers use these numbers to make the planks. The result of the optimization was very exciting. We could adjust the design of each plank that was found at an incompatible position, and we were able to reduce the total number of units by eliminating irregular sized planks. So you can see the randomness, natural randomness of the planks. For the interior, there are also randomly attached wooden panels to create a wide and relaxed space. In order to design these panels, we had to solve many constraints. This is a picture of a steel bracket to keep wooden panels. At the beginning, we defined many parameters accordingly. This is my sketch. I tried finding parameters which define the geometry of panels. This model is a little bit complex than the exterior planks. And with those parameters, we made an accurate 3D model. As for the facade, we proceeded with modeling, controlling over 2,000 panels again. Here is a picture when it was completed. Actually, I never been to Dundee. I hope I could visit this museum someday in the future. Okay, sorry. Next, I would like to talk about an installation we designed last year in Milan. Our client focused on the air pollution in Milan, so they asked us to design a solution for this issue. Also, they asked us to use a cutting-edge material called the Bless by Animotech. The Bless fabric is made up of 3 layers that work together and each with their own function. We try to design a soft, sustainable installation with this cloth, which has a function of absorbing air pollutants. To maximize surfacial area, we try to make pleats in the fabric. Also, we are inspired by Japanese traditional paperworks, origami. Okay. Finally, we designed a 1.2 meter square origami unit like this. By using this unit, we could obtain flexibility to respond to any kind of organic form. This is a first mock-up to check the pleats. Also, we simulated this origami design in 3D CAD and make a lot of options in our design process. This is the first one, twisted one. Finally, we made a free parametrical 3D model. Also, structural engineer helps us to analyze displacement and reaction force of this complex geometry with this accurate 3D model. To keep this organic form, we designed complex frame system and 3D joint. There were 45 different joints in this installation. We made this joint by 3D printer. Like this. And we made it. This is Kengo Kuma. This is a large air cleaner. As you can see, we utilize 3D modeling in our design process. Okay, finally, I would like to introduce our visualization works. As you know, visualization is very helpful and very useful for developing the design. We mainly make images for competition and presentations for clients. We are in-house visualization team. Basically, one visualization staff handle one project. from concept design till completion. Also, we have to keep up with a lot of quick changes in our design process. So we usually finalize one image per day, per working day. Also, it is important for us to visualize not only for the building, but for the environment. We try to visualize the nature and the materials by using V&A. This is a hotel, S Hotel in Kyoto. Okay. Also, we make VR. Last year, we had collaborated with Nozon. We are able to create a very high quality VR rendering. This VR was pre-rendered by V&A. We can move inside this VR and get close to the object. Okay. Now, I would like to talk about our ongoing project. This project is to create a new building for the Hans Christian Andersen Museum. Andersen's work projects the duality of the opposites that surround us. For example, real and imaginary, nature and man-made, human and animal, and light and dark. Our our architectural design is to reflect this essence of his work in architecture and landscape form. So it was very important for us to visualize fascinating garden in rendering. For example, I modeled the hedge and added more details into the 3D model. Thanks to V&A and some plugin, Park or something, and Corona, to visualize vegetation is relatively easier than ever. This is one of my favorite. This is Sunken Garden. This is Sunken Garden. Also, we love to render caustics by V&A. Okay, next is the last project that I introduced you today. This project is Waterfront Culture Center in Denmark. We won the first prize for the international competition for this project. The new Waterfront Culture Center is to highlight the significance of water in the history and culture in Copenhagen. Our focus in design is to create an experience that are unified and defined by the water. Also, we chose bricks to relate to the context of the area and to highlight the traditional Danish craft. In our proposal, we are exploring the potential of brick. Its small unit allows us to play with various openings. The brick facade can screen natural light and shadow that reflects on the water surface. This perforated and screened brick skin would let soft light out in distinct manner. In the competition phase, we use displacement and opacity map to express this brick facade like this. This is displacement and opacity map. As we proceeded the design, we have to visualize its texture in detail. So we made all bricks in 3D model. So I wanted to visualize this screen with bricks. So this is all bricks model. Okay, this is the interior. Okay, this is exterior view. Okay, as you can see, we can express not only the shape of the building, but the atmosphere that the building can create. That's all for today on my presentation. If you are interested in our works, please follow our Instagram account and subscribe our newsletter. Thank you for your time and attention.